Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to another episode of Level by Level on Our World of Darkness, where we are going through the Presence discipline, level by level. And tonight we are going over Summon. Summon! Ugh, I hated Summon. As a storyteller running 2nd edition revised Vampire the Masquerade, I hated this power because I had to deal with someone who used it as a weapon, who used it to try to call back retired characters. And he would just continuously, frustratingly badger me and the other players until I finally had to tell him that I was going to remove it off and he was never going to be able to buy it again because he was using it in a hostile fashion. But the problem with that is the old way that this was written allowed that kind of thing. In Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, we are looking at a rewritten summon that works so much better. It is written out so that it is easily understandable and easily defendable on an out-of-character standpoint so that somebody cannot ruin the game due to spite. The book says, the vampire can call to themselves any person, mortal or vampire, upon whom they previously used awe, entrancement, or majesty, or who has tasted their blood at least once. The target knows who is summoning them and the user's current location. This calling lasts for the night. After that time, the effect subsides, but the user can repeat it night after night if required to reach the target or if the target is otherwise reluctant. Anyone summoned feels a pull towards the summoner and tries to reach them, though without endangering themselves physically or financially. They won't sell their house to buy a ticket or miss a vital meeting, but they might skip out of normal work or social commitments. So, in other words, if they feel endangered, they won't go. I love that. This allows a vampire to utilize their presence powers to summon someone to their location. It lets the person know where they're going and who is calling them. That is massively important and was part of the thing that kind of just didn't quite work very well in the older systems. The cost is 1 rouse check, so all you actually have to do is expend a little bit of blood, or possibly expend a little bit of blood, and use the test here. And the dice pools, by the way, are manipulation plus presence versus the composure plus intelligence of the target. So you are putting out your call, and it is up to them to find you at that point, to come to you, if they're going to. The system states the user needs to concentrate for 5 minutes and think of the person being summoned. Then rolls a manipulation plus presence versus the composure plus intelligence. On a win, the target hears the summon, but may or may not heed it. On a critical win, the target arrives as quickly as possible, barring immediate risk to their well-being. So in other words, if you win, they might not show up if you're a dick. I like that. I really, really do. Because you're not using your other disciplines on it. In fact, that's a prerequisite. You have to use awe, entrancement, or majesty on the individual before you ever summon anybody. The duration is 1 night. Now, I'm going to go ahead and apologize if I'm a little bit too intense with this one. It's just that this is a discipline that caused me endless frustration as a storyteller. And I love the new write-up because it is something that can be defended against. Do you guys have any other disciplines like that for you? That in the older systems, they just did not work because they were too hyper-aggressive? Or do you have that thought in V5? Let me know. I am Voivode Maquette. This is Our World of Darkness and Level by Level Presence 101, where we have just gone over the Summon discipline. Class dismissed.